Hi, Gareth. Question for Gareth. I'm sure you're sick to the back teeth of questions about Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell, but what is their situation and will they be involved in the squad, and have they travelled down? How does that all work?
Well, they're having to travel separately to the team, so they've had, as you know, individual training programs this week. The only sessions they've been able to join in with us are when there's not full team training. So that's the basis on which we've got to make the decision. And then as from midnight tonight, they can be freely back with the group.
We saw you say about writing their own stories. You said the same ahead of Colombia. Just how important is that message to the group and this chance to make history? I think you suggested it would be only the second European Championship knockout win. Yeah,
I mean, it's an incredible record, that, really. But I think it's something we've talked about a lot as a team for the last 4 years. This team has that opportunity. I think in the previous eras, we've always talked about the past and teams and their records and baggage and everything else, and there's no reason for these boys to feel that way. Most weren't born when a lot of those games happened. It's an irrelevance for them. So I think we're all looking forward to the game tomorrow. We know it's a fantastic game to be involved in, and a real opportunity for us to progress to a quarter-final. Big opponent with excellent pedigree and great experience, but a game we're really looking forward to.
A question for Harry. You're obviously, the last memory is the 2018 World Cup, but you were in France for the last European Championship, last 16 match. I didn't go so well. Pretty confident you can put that right this time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the gaffer said there, I think there's only a few of us that was maybe involved in that tournament, in that game especially, and sometimes games like that give you more motivation to go and be successful in the future, and you can learn from experiences like that, and I did for sure, and the players that were involved did for sure. So yeah, it's a totally different circumstance. We're obviously playing a massive team in Germany, but look, it's just one to look forward to. We feel confident. We've had a good start to the tournament. Areas we can improve for sure. So hopefully we can take that into tomorrow night.
There's obviously been a lot of focus on you, Harry, and the lack of goals so far. Do you listen to any of that outside noise? How do you cope? And do you feel like the goals are going to start flowing throughout the squad?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said as a striker, you go through spells, good spells, and sometimes spells that just don't quite go your way. The most important thing for me is that we're winning games. The first objective was to qualify, which we've done. The second is to now try and reach a quarter-final. So whether I'm scoring, the most important thing is that we're winning. So that's all I'm focused on tomorrow night. That's all the team are focused on. However we get it done, that's our main objective, and yeah, we'll do everything in our power to get through.
It appears I'm the only hand raised, so I'll keep going. Gareth, a question for you. I didn't want to be the one that asked it, but someone's going to have to mention Euro 96 eventually. This is going to be the biggest match on UK soil since then, I imagine. Do you speak to your players about how big this moment's going to be? I know you've spoken about writing your own history, but it is a huge moment.
Yeah, we don't have to mention it, Simon, but you've chosen to, so we'll go there. No, I think you can make these things as big in your head as you want, really. It's a game of football. These boys have played hundreds of them. There is, of course, great excitement with fans and people tuning into the game. But we've got to trust in the way we prepare, transferring what we do in training into the game. And focus on the things we can control. Everything else outside it brings excitement, brings motivation. But it's a game of football and an opportunity to get to a quarter-final, and that's what we're focused on.
Thanks, good luck.
Thank
you, Simon. Next we'll go to James Ollie of ESPN.
For Gareth, is it realistic to think that Mason or Ben can start, given presumably they haven't been able to do any major team shape work with as an 11 anyway?
Well, clearly it's really complicated because there's the physical periodisation that you would want for a game like this, and then there's the tactical training. They've had to the meetings we've had, they've had to be in a separate room and dial in on Zoom, and so the whole experience for them, including travelling down tonight, is very, very difficult. But they're young players who I think can get on with things pretty well. As I said, it's a decision I've got to take when we're looking at how they've been able to train and everything else. So there's a lot wrapped up in that call.
Sorry, James,
you're on mute now. Full week.
Sorry, James, you start that one again. You're on mute. Thank you.
Sorry, I was just saying, how useful has this week been, Gareth, to have a full week training with the team? Do you feel like you've been able to make the most of it, despite the issue with obviously Mount and Chilwell?
Yeah, I think that it was important for a couple of days for the players to just relax and have a lower physical output. It would have been a very long lead in otherwise, and now we've been able to get a lot of work done in on the training ground, some tactical work which is important for this game in particular. So that's an unusual opportunity for us. It's probably the longest period we've had in 12 months to work with the team.
Thanks, James. Next we'll go to Theo Squires from the Liverpool Echo.
Hi, I've got a question for both of you. I'll start with Gareth. Reports today saying that Jordan Pickford could be one of your penalty takers. Obviously, your last two major tournaments, he's been a big part in penalty shootout victories. It's a game against Germany. Penalties are always going to come up. When you've already entered this jinx, how important is Jordan going to be against the Germans if it does go to penalties?
Well, there's obviously a lot of football before that moment, and first and foremost, we've got to get the 90 minutes right. So, but in that eventuality, the first thing is he's a very, very good at stopping penalties, and that's psychologically for us a very important position. And most goalkeepers are good strikers of a ball, really. So he's done it before. Obviously, everybody has been practicing. That's part of the process we go through. But as I say, his ability to save penalties is a great thing for us.
And now for Harry, obviously you're arguably one of the best penalty takers in England in the Premier League. Jordan's got this ability to stop penalties. I'm imagining you've been practicing lots in training, so it's just who's coming out on top between the two of you for when you're doing that. And what is it about Jordan that makes him so difficult to beat from the penalty spot?
Yeah, no, Jordan's obviously great. I think I've had one penalty against him in my career, and I managed to score that one when he was back at Sunderland, so I still give him a bit of stick for that every now and then. But no, look, penalties are something obviously I practice throughout the season a lot. I wouldn't say I've done a load more than what I normally do since I've been away with England. So obviously we have three keepers here with the squad, so they're always chopping and changing when the lads are practicing. So like I said, Jordan's brilliant. It's great to have his all the training he does, and obviously the confidence he's took from the last couple penalty shootouts we've had with England. Whenever that's called upon, hopefully he'll stand up like he has done for England in the past.
Thank you, Theo. Next we'll go to Rob Harris of AEP.
Hi Gareth, good luck for tomorrow. Just wondering what you made of Mark Bullingham's praise, and whether it's a conversation you want after the tournament about signing that new contract beyond 2022, or if it's something you'd prefer to wait even after Qatar.
I think that I said yesterday, any manager is going to be grateful for total backing of the board and our chief executive. So, from my perspective, that's obviously I know that's a private conversation that I've had that support. But as I said yesterday, in the end, internal backing is important, but in this role in particular, external backing is just as important. And I always think to discuss contracts around tournaments in the past hasn't been the right thing. And we were certain we weren't going to do that before this tournament. We should see how this goes. So all my focus is on the game and getting this team as far as we possibly can.